Week after week, college football proves why it's unpredictable. Major upsets, ranking shakeups again, teams that were supposed to dominate struggled, close calls for powerhouse programs again, plenty of drama in the NFL, a little bit about the Canelo Crawford fight coming up, and also we're going to highlight one of San Antonio's historical athletes. Big up, props, and respect to certain NFL teams that didn't fall victim to political pressure. Welcome to the Willy Bobo Show. All right, you guys, let's start off with some college football upsets and highlights, right? Let's jump in with number 16, Texas A&M, pulling off a massive upset up in South Bend, Indiana, with the Golden Domers, upsetting number 8, Notre Dame. They won 41-40 in a massive Michael Jackson thriller. Marcel Reed leading the way through for over 360 yards, 2 touchdowns, including the game winner to Nate Berkshire, with just seconds remaining. We're going to come back to this game too because, like I said, I have no love for that coach from this point on, man. And I was actually going to root for them this year. Golden Domers, you're off my list. Vanderbilt stunned number 11, South Carolina, but I have to put an asterisk beside that because Lenore Sellers got hurt. Then after he went out, it was a wrap. They won on the road 31-7. I think they were snapping a 16-game losing streak to the Gamecocks. Vanderbilt forced 4 turnovers, dominated multiple phases of the game. Their quarterback is a little bulldog. Like, this kid, he just does not give a fuck. And I like his attitude, I like the way he plays. It was great watching him, man. I checked him out a lot last year. And Vanderbilt had a damn good team. If Vanderbilt was able to pull in kids that normal schools do, and you got to realize it's Vanderbilt, so they're like another Duke, right? They are a high caliber education school, so they're not going to be able to get those athletes like other SEC schools. But man, once they start to spend that NIL money, you better watch out for Vanderbilt. Real talk. Another upset. Dabo. You fucking awesome. Real bad, Pa. Look, Georgia Tech is a beast of a team. That run game is special, and their quarterback is a grown man amongst boys, straight up and down. They surprised number 12 Clemson 24-21, and that was courtesy of a late 55-yard field goal. Cade Klubnik is not looking like this heralded quarterback that everybody talked about, coming out from around this area, right? Highly recruited, if I'm not mistaken, number 1 quarterback coming out. I mean, it looks bad, yo. I mean, he doesn't look crisp. It's like the whole Arch Manning thing. Arch Manning right now is not, to me, looking like a Heisman Trophy winner. We're talking about the name on his back. We're not talking about the game that proceeds, right? But I digress. Big Ten action. Ohio State beat up on Ohio 37-9. Of course, and they're asserting their state dominance again. Also, Georgia hung on in overtime in a slugfest against number 15 Tennessee. Yo, I told you guys, man, 44-41. That's how that game generally plays out. I don't know what it is over the past 9 years because the stats show that Tennessee is either winning the game or they're in the game, except for the fourth quarter. All 9 seasons now, we'll make it 10. They've been right there in the game with Georgia, and for some reason, they just can't close the deal, and they wind up losing. It's just wild, man. And that was a 48-yard field goal. Kid had just hit something like close to that, within the same half, and it was heartbreaking. But like I called it, though, the pageantry was there. The game was incredible. Big up to Georgia. They showed fortitude, and their quarterback, I got to eat my words, man. Actually, he showed up in a big game. He really did. Tennessee's quarterback, he just didn't look that good, yo. He was throwing moon balls. Receivers were beating their man like 2 and 3 yards, right? But they had to stop, turn around, and come back for the ball. So he really doesn't have a deep cannon, and it really did show in that game. And that's another thing that did, come back to haunt them. So now we're going to go back into that Texas A&M Golden Domers game, right? The 41-40 game and a wild road upset. So Texas A&M had also erased 5 different deficits in the game. They were down 5 different times. Marcel Reed threw for 360, 2 touchdown passes. He did have 1 interception though, right? But Le'Veon Moss for A&M, brother carried the ball 20 times for about 81 yards, but he scored 3 touchdowns. That's great work, right? Mario Craver, A&M wide receiver, 207 receiving yards, 1 touchdown. Notre Dame CJ Carr was 20 for 32, 293, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. That's a mediocre night, right? Jeremiah Love, that's got to be the first running back taken straight up and down, because this kid right here, he's special. I'm sorry, I got to use that word again, yo. 94 yards on the ground, 1 touchdown. So for all of my people out there that like to toss that money around, hoping that their team is going to be able to pull out a victory, here's some expert predictions and betting odds for week 4. We have my beloved North Carolina Tar Heels versus UCF. Models back North Carolina to cover the spread at +6.5 with an over and under around 48.5. Carolina has improved in recent weeks. UCF's non-FBS schedule and performance, history are viewed as weaker. I don't know. I really don't know, man. Central Florida is always a team that, really gives you a hard time and some problems when you least expect it. Carolina right now, I don't believe in their quarterback at all. That one against Charlotte, it's Charlotte, man. No disrespect to them, but I really don't believe in Carolina's quarterback at all. We also have Tennessee versus UAB. Tennessee's going to be expected to really handle them, honestly. You got a heavy spread lines, -39.5. And there's expectations for extremely high scoring on Tennessee's part. And we're looking at about an over about 69.5 in that game. Also, we have Utah, Texas Tech. Betting line favors Utah. I would definitely take that, man. Utah's been a damn good team over the past 5 years, and in general, they're decent. They have a predicted tight score for week 4, something like Utah 30, Texas Tech 27. All right, so run your lines on that one. We'll be right back. All right, you guys, welcome back. So now we're going to run down the week 2 NFL shenanigans. That's all I can say, man. Philly beat the Chiefs 20-17. Eagles defense did stand tall, especially in the red zone. And while the Chiefs offense struggled again at crucial moments, they got problems out there in Kansas City, man. They're no longer looking like the invincible juggernaut that they used to be. It happens. People catch up to you, right? It happens to the best of them, I do love what Jalen Hurts had to say. We won the game. Shut the fuck up. Love it. Buffalo Bills beat my beloved Jets 30-10. Yeah, Josh Allen went the fuck off. Major balanced performance, quieter than usual. James Cook stepped up. They handled business. Of course, our quarterback got hurt. He has a concussion. He's going to be out this week. We do have Tyrod Taylor stepping up. Very well respected, very well liked and loved guy in the NFL. Battled those injuries, throughout his career. We know about that debacle where they punctured his lung. Jesus Christ. Glad he survived that. I think Tyrod may step up this week, man, and actually give something to somebody that they're not really used to seeing. I mean, come on. When's the last time we really saw Tyrod Taylor on the field? Right. So I'm actually looking forward to this next upcoming game. The Buccaneers edged the Houston Texans 20-19 on a late touchdown by Rachaad White with just seconds to spare. Tight finish with drama. Baker, I guess that Popeye's chicken commercial is starting to work for him, because Baker's really looking like he definitely improved some things. He changed some things around. And CJ Stroud, man, I mean, it's just going to be one of those years. It's really going to be one of those years. And I'm thinking that the Texans might be one of those teams that pulls out a high draft pick. So the Patriots did upset the Miami Dolphins. I can't call it an upset, Miami's not good. They fall to 0-2. Patriots countered well, making key plays when it counted, without, Tyreek Hill being out there. Admittingly, you know what I mean? It's just what it is. The team's not going to fare well without, all their major weapons. And plus, they're not good on offense right now. And their defense is like a bunch of blind mice out there, We had a lot of teams that didn't represent, or I guess you could say underperform, right? So this is my list. The Chiefs, disappointing outing versus the Eagles. The offense wasn't sharp, and they lost what, many would consider a winnable game. The Dolphins, again, high expectations going in, but they couldn't close against the Patriots. The defense and the offense both had breakdowns. The Texans, yeah, they came close against the Bucs, but they couldn't hold on. Games like that hurt when it becomes a momentum builder early, right? Because we understand that, momentum is what powers, National Football League games. And big up to the following NFL teams who chose not to fall victim to political pressure, and they stuck by what they did to Colin Kaepernick. And that would be the Baltimore Ravens, the Cincinnati Bengals, the Detroit Lions, the Indianapolis Colts, and the Minnesota Vikings. Thank you for not participating. Thank you for sticking to what it is that the NFL says, that politics don't belong in the game. You did a damn good stand-up job. There are times and places to take a stand, and they stood tall. They really did. And I'd like to big them up. Props and respect to you. Our local San Antonio superhero sport highlight. This is something I'm going to start doing every week, man, because I've been here a long time. I've been here 15 years in this town, man, and people have shown me a lot of love throughout the years. And I've met a lot of great athletes out here. I'm trying to get into these stories. So if you're a person out there that does have great historical knowledge of what the San Antonio area has contributed to the NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball, Major League Soccer, whatever it may be, contact the Willy Bobo Show. Put me up on these people. I'm doing my own research, but if you know somebody, if you know a team that was fantastic to win a state title, blah, 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 whatever it may be, I want to be able to highlight that on the show. So this week's hero is going to be Victor Rodriguez. He's from San Antonio, who overcame poverty and prejudice to shine both as a track athlete and as a coach, and most of all, an educator. He was the first Hispanic scholarship athlete and letterman at North Texas, and later became a teacher and a coach at San Antonio ISD. Recently inducted into the San Antonio Sports Hall of Fame for his lifetime of service. We'd like to thank you, sir. Big up to you for breaking those barriers down and standing up for what is right and making a major change in the lives of so many people. Let's talk about the fight. The fight was great, right? The fight was great. I hate it when I see people talking about racial lines being drawn during a fight. I can't stand when we have to fight each other like that anyway. That's just me, because me being Afro-Latino myself, it's like, how much more do we have to go through to see that, we don't have to do this, man. We have better coordination with each other than we do against each other. We have so much in common, right? We're such down to earth people, and we come from the earth as we are brown, and we are original man, So I'm not sure as to why it is that so many Latinos, so many Mexican people have this ingratiated mind state of Stockholm syndrome, thinking that just because of the fact that they are of lighter complexion, straighter nose, and so on, Spaniard descent, straight hair, that it makes them different. When ICE kicks down your door, you find out exactly you're not that different from the police fucking with us. Big up to both of those fighters for being gentlemen, first and foremost. Big up to Crawford for being so gracious to Canelo, showing that Latino people are beautiful, black people are beautiful. And it was a gorgeous thing to watch the relationship between he and that man's family. You know what I mean? A humble brother from Nebraska, from Omaha, Nebraska, man, showing the character of a champion in every aspect, because it was left in the ring. It didn't need to come out of it. And that's what they did. This to me was the best fight I've ever seen in my life. And it wasn't about the fight itself, because the fight itself was just awesome. But it was about the intestinal fortitude and the humanism to respect each other and each other's families and gain respect of the boxing world in ways that we've never seen before. Big up to both of you gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, and if you would like to be a guest of the Willy Bobo Show, if you have questions or comments, please email me at thewillyboboshow@gmail.com. Peace.